All right, everyone. Today we're going to be starting on robotics. What you should do is you should go to the classroom. There's going to be a link in the classroom that's going to take you to our robotics group. If you don't have an account yet, I will help you in class. I will help you make an account. What you need to do, once you get into your account, there's two curriculums. Introduction to Programming with Virtual EV3 is something I have to manually add you to, but you could start working immediately on this Virtual EV3 Sensibot. It's kind of like a demo of the exact same program, and you'll get the same credit for any assignments you do in this one. Today, I just want everyone familiarizing themselves with the robot stuff and how it works. So we're going to get right into that. So when you click on this link in the classroom, when you click on this this CS2N groups link, it's going to give you a page that looks like this, but you're not going to have whoops, what did I do? It's going to give you a page that looks like this, but you're only going to have this blue button for now. I'm going to start adding people to this red one throughout class, but my number one priority is getting people into the classroom. I have 75 of 150 students in here. I need to get everyone in. We're going to click on this blue button once we get in. If you have the red one, it's a little bit better to work in there, but it's fine. We can click Go to Activity. When we click Go to Activity, we're going to have some cool little things to do. We're going to work on those later in the class. For today, we can just get started with programming with the Virtual EV3. Programming with the Virtual EV3 is going to kind of give you some written instructions on how we're doing this. It talks about how it's a virtual simulation. It's a simulation of a robot. And it talks about rotating the camera, looking around. And this is it's almost like a combination of our Tinkercad controls and our Scratch controls. At the bottom of this page, we're going to have a button that says Launch Activity. You can launch it. It'll give you this virtual robot simulation, and it'll give you some Scratch code and a place to code with your Scratch. Sometimes when we're doing assignments, it'll give us instructions on the right side of what it wants us to do. But for this one, we can just play around with our robot. So for example, maybe I look at this code and it looks kind of like Scratch code. I have some movement. I could play sounds. I have when green flag is clicked. I'm actually not sure if when green flag is clicked works in this. Move forward one rotation. Okay, it does. So yeah, when green flag is clicked. So we can move our robot with the movement. We have motors. What motors is on this robot is we have a little motor that moves this arm up and down. So if we tell this arm to run clockwise, that spins the motor in some direction, which would be more obvious in real life, but let's run this and see what happens. When space key is pressed, let's run clockwise. Maybe when down key is pressed, maybe when up key is pressed, it runs clockwise, and maybe when down key is pressed, it runs counterclockwise. And now I can hit up, down, up, down, up, down. And now on my keyboard, I'm controlling how this robot moves. So maybe if you really wanted to, maybe you could go really hard today and make it so like you can drive your robot around with the keyboard and mouse or something. Maybe we can make it so that our robot does a little dance. Maybe we do a loop, just like these are exact same Scratch code blocks. That makes our robot like repeatedly wave its arm up and down and play a little song and, wiggle back and forth. You could play around with this code however you want. If you do interesting things, I'll give you an interestingly large amount of points. Feel free to experiment, play around with the code blocks. They're very similar to what we did in Scratch, and they're going to be controlling this robot right here. Just if anyone's really interested in a quick introduction, you can get started right now, but we have a few little sensors on our robot. We have this sensor detects colors. This sensor detects whether or not it's getting pushed in, if something's touching it. And this is like a sonic sensor, kind of like for echolocation, like bats have, like, and then you can kind of detect how far in front of it is. You can't actually hear it, but it does kind of do that. It's at a pretty low frequency, so we can't actually hear it. And yeah, so this is our EV3 robot. This is what we're going to be working with. We have a few different configurations of the robot that maybe we'll get to later, where maybe different sensors will be in different places. Maybe we can, it's all kind of customizable, but not in the online version right now. But we'll talk about that later. So yeah, for today, just maybe bring in when green flag is clicked, maybe have a forever loop, and maybe have it, do a little dance. So maybe it moves forward a little bit, moves back a little bit, and maybe while it's moving forward, its arm will go up, and while it's moving backwards, the arm will go down. And maybe that'll be its little dance. Why is this getting stuck? Move forward, move backwards. It never moves backwards. There it goes. Now it's doing his little dance. See, so I haven't. It does a little bit. Da da da. Maybe you want to give him some turns in there. Maybe you want to do something fancy. I don't know. But yeah, you could do whatever you want today. I just want you to submit some pieces of code, some interesting things that your robot's doing. This will be your little playground. This programming with the virtual Ev3. This will kind of be for whatever you want to do. You can also, there's some buttons to, I think this video is long enough. We'll talk about more stuff later in the year. It should be fun for today. All right, that being said, I will see you all later. Peace out.